I'm Paul Smith, and I'm the Director of Lecture Demonstrations here at the Chemistry Department at Purdue University. Okay, we're getting ready for the 4th of July, and oftentimes people are interested in what goes into making a firework. How do we get the firework displays that we see on the 4th of July? And so what we're going to do today is take a look at a 3-inch shell and how it would be put together and some of the actual hands-on principles that are used to make these shells. And hopefully it's to communicate to you the amount of time that goes into what we enjoy in just a few seconds. All right, so what we have here is a mock-up of a 3-inch shell, and I'll mention some of the components and you will see how we actually put this together to make the 3-inch shell. This is just a half of it, and you have this as being a chrysanthemum shell, which you have the stars on the outside here. You have the burst powder inside here, have the time fuse here, and then time fuse is lit by the lift powder that's down here, and you can see the fuse coming through from here. This is a fuse that's lit, whether electrically or by a open flame, to start the ignition process of the shell. So these are all inert materials, and we're going to try to simulate how this is put together so you see how you get it composed this way. Inside here is going to be our burst powder, which we're using kitty litter today. And you can see here that that may be what they used here, and they just painted it black. So it makes a pretty good simulation. Now, to do the stars, you can use a variety of things. What I've chose to use today is garbanzo beans. And essentially what we do is line these hemispheres with garbanzo beans. And you can see I can pile them in there, but we really don't want it piled in that way. What we want them to do is to stack inside here against the outer wall. As you can see from this one here, that's what they've done there. So then what they do is take tissue paper, and I'm just grabbing some here, and then we push it down in there, and we'll reduce our size a little bit. So we pack that down in there and then can trim it up some more. And then from there we begin to put the burst powder in there, which then, with the weight of that powder, which in this case we're simulating the powder with kitty litter, that holds the stars in place. This one they left it open so you can see it better, but you can actually fold it back over. And that's what we're going to do here. But basically what you have to do is put a 3x5 card on one of them in particular and hold it in place, and then from there you invert that one onto the other one. We've got it together, then we have to take and secure it so that we can paste it. And what we do to secure it is put a strip of masking tape. Here's a strip of pasted paper. And so what we do to finalize securing the shell is wrap the paper around there. So someone sits there day in and day out hand pasting the shells after they're put together with the pasting mechanism like this. This is the fuse then that would light it. This actual fuse you could light by flame, which is what this side of the fuse is for, or you could electric ignite it. And how that's electrically done is with the E-match, which is put down into this port, and then you wrap the wires around and secure it. And then that is hooked into the firing system, and that's the complete shell then, with the lift powder down here, this secured on here. A lot of times there'll be a string that wraps this around here so that it holds that in place, but then the shell's all assembled, and that's what goes into making a 3-inch shell. And in this case this was similar to the pattern of doing a chrysanthemum shell. Making fireworks is interesting and fascinating, but there is a whole legal aspect that you have to do to be in compliance with the regulations that are the requirement for today. So Because of that license and that ability to store in that, I have this experience and knowledge to be able to show you this and that, but it's not something you can just necessarily do on your own. There's a whole process to get ready to do that, to do it properly and safely.